Hi there and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a flip through of my completed Amanda Rach Lee doodle planner for 2021, and I got the pink color. I got it for Christmas, I guess in 2020, because now last year is 2021. So Happy New Year, everybody. I really loved filling this out. And you've seen some of the spreads if you've seen my flip through of my blank 2022 planner, which despite it being the second, I still have actually not really touched. So I do need to get started on this so I can plan my life, because after today, I won't have a planner that has the days in it. So let's just go ahead and get started. So like I said, this is in the pink color, elastic, ribbons, charm, pen loop. I didn't use it super often, but you know, it was kind of fun to fiddle with, to be honest. So let's get started. I have covered up some things in here just for privacy reasons. I ask that if there is anything written, don't like pause the video and watch it. Just, I don't know, just respect my privacy. I understand that I'm putting this out on the internet so people can do whatever they want, I guess, but I just ask that you respect my privacy because that's a decent thing to do. So the front cover, I have my name, obviously, and these are the doodles that go to each month's theme. And so what I tried to do was doodle the one on this side when I began the month and doodle the one on this side when I finished the month. I forgot to do the November one, but everything else is doodled. This is actually an end of the summer to-do list that I was looking at recently, and I filled out more things than I remembered doing, but I certainly didn't complete it. But it's just, I just like colors, so, and you know, it was just like one of those master to-do lists, so I just kept it in here. Let's see, I think I had the idea of like coloring each of these. I didn't really use it past the first few months. I mainly used it for like dentist and orthodontist appointments because I got braces at the beginning of the year. I also had an oral surgery, so I just kind of had like a lot of mouth stuff going on and like dental stuff. I have my reflections from last year, goals, which I kind of didn't really, I don't know if I would say I accomplished them, but they were a little more like, I want to learn how to do a specific thing, but like watercoloring, like I wouldn't feel like I just learned how to watercolor. I don't know, like I do it more often now, but it's not like I learned, if that makes sense. I don't know, but these are kind of vague. Thankfully, they don't reflect the life I'm living now. Last year at this time was very difficult for me. I had the things to check out, which again, I didn't really check out most of them. Didn't super use this throughout the year. This is my book spread. I wanted to read 30 books, which I didn't get to, but that's okay because I was, well, I have it written here. I was working overtime for like half the year, and the other half I was a full-time student, so it's okay. Blank page. I don't know what I'll do with it, if anything. Here's January. I filled it out the same way that she did. I think it looks really pretty, though it's not really my favorite theme. Maybe because I did it the exact same way that she did it, or maybe I just don't like this. This was so tedious to trace every time, which I didn't have to, but like, I don't know, it was just what she did. I will say, I love the gold. I just love just like doing this with the page and seeing the glitter. I am like a moth when it comes to shiny things. But yeah, I never really used the favorite spread. At the first, like at the beginning, I didn't really know how I was using this either. I didn't really use like the bullet journal key, and even though everybody on bullet journal YouTube like seems to use pen, I just can't use pen because like what if you need to erase something? I don't know. And the pencil didn't really look good, but like I guess that doesn't really matter. I just kind of was using it, I don't really know, I guess for to-do lists. I actually wasn't even in school. The highlighting helped. I liked how it looked better with highlighting, and I also felt like I had more things accomplished. So now it's February. I like this better. Colored it in with marker, have some washi tape, very cute. This one I started doing this thing that I actually ended up doing throughout the rest of the year, and that was writing one thing down each day that made that day memorable, because as I said, I was going through a pretty hard time. I wasn't in school and I was kind of feeling a little hopeless, and my my days, my life, like the things I was doing didn't really matter. And so I made it a goal to have something I did each day be memorable. So I could say on Tuesday I did this, on Wednesday I did that, to make it seem like my days mattered. So if you're going through a hard time, I would recommend doing that, because it seriously has helped. And it's also kind of fun to look back and see, what did I do each day? This is also when I started doing things differently for the habit tracker. So instead of in the first month where I just kind of filled it out if I did it, it didn't really leave wiggle room, if that makes sense. So I used the same colors that I used on my mood tracker to keep track of my habit tracker. So for example, I would do green for good on my memorable tracker if I did something that made the day memorable, but I would do, the color for if the only thing that was memorable about that day was that I worked or something. Let's see. Again, like I said, it was kind of a rough time, so I just put sticky notes of things I could look forward to each day, each week. Just did some lettering for the first time. It was kind of fun. Valentine's Day. This week it snowed. It was so fun, and it was good because my sister ended up coming home from Mardi Gras. She lives in New Orleans, and they can't do anything the week of Mardi Gras because it's so crazy. Even though I don't even know if they had Mardi Gras last year. But so she came home, and it was really great because I had somebody to go sledding with. Yep. March was really fun. I watercolored this month, which was a first for me, and I really, really enjoyed it. Again, writing memorable things. Habits. I remember doing this outside while I listened to a Bliss Bean show podcast. Some sticky notes. This was a to-do list for a school assignment that I hadn't finished from the previous semester. More to-do lists. Looks like it was a busy week. I had to say I like it when it was multicolored better. That was something about Amanda Rachel Lee's spreads, at least when she first started bullet journaling, that I couldn't wrap my head around only one color. I'm a very colorful person. This I painted at the beach because I was at the beach, and it was really fun getting to watercolor on the beach. April was clouds. This is my favorite color. So maybe this wasn't the most original just a color in the sky, but I loved it. Very therapeutic. And let's see. I will say, ironically, the thing that this is supposed to be for, planning, I don't super love it, if that makes sense. The boxes are small, and I don't really like grid spacing, which I've learned from this. But I enjoyed coloring in this planner so much. This is another just kind of coloring. I actually started working at a flower shop, and so this was fitting because it was flowers. But what was I saying? Oh, I don't super love the boxes, I guess. I just I like these features. I've always been intrigued with tracking. And because I wasn't in school, though, I was able to kind of use it. I will be using it for this coming semester. Here's June. This one I did with gel pens and highlighters. I really like how this one turned out. It was super fun to fill out again. Lots of colors. Yeah, my habits kind of changed from month to month, but I kind of got into a groove of the things that I needed to track. I went to a Renaissance festival and tried to make it look like old-timey lettering. I was I'm going to redraw that, and I never did, which is fine. But yeah, so I have less of a load this coming semester, hopefully. So hopefully I'll be okay to plan my school stuff in these boxes. This is actually kind of like the first of a style that I use later. So this week I was on vacation in Ohio. I didn't really have anything to do. I was just visiting family. And so because I didn't have anything, you know, to plan from day to day, I just wrote down the highlights from each day. And that's actually what I started doing when I did go back to school. Here's July, shells. I did color these first few pages, but there were just so many colors that I wanted to use. It actually got tedious, and I just didn't color most of the month, which is totally fine. I didn't value coloring it that much that month, so I didn't do it, and that's a-okay. August, this one was super fun again. I actually used mostly highlighters to fill this out, because like I said, I really like colors. There wasn't a doodle in the middle, so I drew a record, and I was like, wow, it looks so good. It's literally just a circle, but I think it added a lot. Yeah, so later in this month when I start school, I had a lot to do because I was like wrapping up my job, I was starting school soon, I was moving into my new apartment. But once school started, I started using a different planner for school. So what I did is I just wrote like a summary of each day. September, I used some markers, washi tape, thought it was really cute. I really had fun with this. These were just like therapeutic things I could do each Sunday. It was just color in. When school started, I started doing expense trackers to help, you know, with my finances. And yeah, I just wrote a little summary of every day. I didn't always use this. Sometimes I did. Like I used that for a to-do list. In my old planner, I had a page that was like doodle it out, small victories, so sometimes I use it for that. October was my favorite month. And these aren't even all like my favorite colors really. I just had so much. I literally spent 4 hours coloring this. I used, you know, as you can see, lots of glitter, gold pen. It was just so much fun. Whenever she first did this spread, I mean, look at that. Look at the glittering. I just love it. Whenever she first did this theme, I was in love with it. I did this scroll myself, which I think turned out really good. You know, like, it was very similar to the ones that she made. I wrote finance instead of finances, which makes me laugh, but you can't tell because it looks pretty. You're distracted by all the glitter. But yeah, I loved this month. I had really fun working with different mediums. So like marker, watercolor, colored pencils, gel pens, especially the sparkly gel pens. It just kind of added a lot of dimension and options. And I don't know, it was just fun. November, like I said, I don't really know how to watercolor, but I did it more because it was fun. I actually wasn't really a fan of this theme. When she did it, I wasn't a fan that she put it in here, and I was like, how can I make this fun? How can I make myself like this? And so what I did is I watercolored it, and I ended up loving it because like I love these colors, and you can see it did seep through. Like I said, I don't know how to watercolor, so I probably used too much. This is kind of the worst it ever got when it came to seeping through though. But I actually just used like a cheap, well, really cheap. I got a watercolor palette at the thrift store for 49 cents. It hadn't been used, and it had like maybe 24, 30, 36 colors in it. So, and it's, you know, binding's not perfect at all. But it was just really fun. If I had like a lecture or a video that I needed to watch for one of my classes, I would do this while I was watching that because I could still, you know, listen to the information. But it was like a form of stress relief and productivity to work on coloring this in while I was doing that stuff. So this month I loved, and I actually just wasn't quite sure how I wanted to do it. So I literally filled this out like maybe not even 2 weeks ago. It was right before Christmas while we were watching Elf. But I couldn't figure out how I wanted to do it because I loved this theme so much. And I didn't really have time because, you know, finals week and just all that stuff, and I was actually traveling. So when I got home, I just ended up using a set of markers that my mom gave me, which was great because I had left my markers at school. But yeah, so I did black. It was very fun and therapeutic coloring in this whole thing black. But I didn't want to do the whole thing because the doodles were in black. So this is what I have. And I didn't do every single page black because that would just have been too much. And I actually had some like space washi tape that just went perfectly, so I had to use it, you know. And I actually ended up using this for like gift planning. Sorry, my cat is walking by if the camera's moving. Again, finances, I used more of that like sticky tape, and I actually used this super skinny tape and another skinny tape, and I made a grid with my washi tape, which that was really fun. This was the only month of the year that I checked off all these goals, but it was because it was small goals and I didn't have school for most of the month, so I could actually do stuff. But the first week, when I wasn't sure how to do this, I just decorated it with my tape, and you know, that sufficed until I could do a little bit of coloring. But yeah, I really enjoyed this month. Even though I didn't practically get to color it each week, I had a lot of fun after the fact. I got this tape at a thrift store, and it is so fun, and it goes so perfectly. Oh, I just love it. And then this is the final page. I still have to write for today. That's today. And then after that, I have color swatches and a bunch of notes from meetings that I did that I'm not going to share. I have New Year's journaling stuff, and I filled out the reflections. And then in the back here, I actually have my vaccine card, I think, and the letter that came with it. Okay, so that is my whole Amanda Rach Lee bullet journal flip through. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you had this journal, what was your favorite month to fill out? Also, I want to know, what was your favorite month of mine that I did? Like I said, I think October was my favorite. I just like, my heart, you know, my heart. I really enjoyed this, and I'm so happy that Amanda has made something bullet journal creative planning adjacent for us commoners who don't have time to be artists and our planners. So thank you, Amanda Rach Lee. Thank you everybody who is watching this, or if you watched my last video, thank you for watching that. It's gotten a lot more views than my other videos, and I was a little shocked. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!